Doppelgangers is an absolutely insane game modifier that transforms every single one of the units in your squad into your new selected unit when you open a chest. There are some very obvious strategies to get very good placement in this particular game mode, and I'm gonna lay them out for you. And I'll also say this toward the front of the video, that the first couple times you do Doppelgangers, it's going to seem really cool. The 100th time you do Doppelgangers is gonna be like, bro, there's not a lot of diversity to what you do here. And let me explain. The way to do well on Doppelgangers is not to play it like a traditional map where you go in and you generally get value with a strategy over time. No, in Doppelgangers, your number one and only viable strat, as far as I can tell, is to pick units that will give you immense, immediate value. Ideally, things like Goblin that literally rain down ridiculous amounts of coins and then run back and forth between two chests, opening them up over and over and over, growing your squad, and hoping that nobody ambushes you, causing both you and them probably to lose the match. This is a little bit weird, but let me explain a little further. Your number one pick is actually, as I described, the Goblin. Because when it refuses, which is what will happen every time the Doppelganger effect takes place, you get a new rain down of coins. You can very easily end up with over 100 coins just going back and forth. And I actually will do this until about the 2-minute mark. And then I'm like, all right, time to go to the middle and wreck some noobs, hopefully, or get wrecked one way or the other. Now, if you can't get a Goblin, there are several other good options. For example, you can get yourself a Greg, chop down a few trees, and then switch to something else. Hopefully, you'll get something that gives you some economy. Another option would be a Mavis. You can be a pluck to win player. It's my alternate pay to win is pluck to win, okay? I'm a dad. I like dad jokes. Take it easy. But you just go back and forth between the chests. Occasionally, you take a Mavis. You pluck some carrots along the way, get some coins, and then go and spend them. And that is also a way that you can get some value as you try to squad up. And this is what I refer to when you're recruiting more people to your squad. Now, once you have actually obtained a whole bunch of units in your squad with either Goblin, Mavis, or Greg, I'm not sure what other things you might try to use. If you are getting in trouble and you're getting some options that suck and you're not getting one of those options, you can take a chicken for speed boots, which is really freaking sweet. You could also take a penny for a bunch of treasure maps that also will pay off later, and you can get the actual treasure discovered way after Penny has left your squad. Those are also some really good pickups as you're building up to the point where you can go into the middle. Now, there are other things that will give you a bunch of stuff when you switch to them. For example, the Wizard, the Witch, Ham gives you a bunch of healing spells, and even the Royale King will give you a bunch of units that you can summon and throw down. But realistically, the unit you want to land on before you go into the middle and be a terror is, in my opinion, number one, a Barbarian King. Tons of damage, tons of health, and heals himself. It's the total package. The only thing you need to do is avoid actually stepping on another chest to switch off of the Barbarian King, because that sucks. And by the way, if you're really gung-ho about winning in this game mode, an epic key toward the end and then reroll to get a Barbarian King if he's in the draft choice options at the time is freaking huge. I haven't used a reroll dice for that, but like, I can see how it will be insanely valuable, okay? The other thing that you could use is an Archer Queen. She is also really strong toward the end. I also really like the Tank as a solid choice to bully like crazy in the middle. And you also could go with Nita, because although Nita's kind of squishy herself, her bears are pretty amazing. And when you get something else summoned, the bears still stick around. They just kind of run off wherever they want, but they're still on the map. So like you can switch to Nita, get a bunch of bears spawned in, switch to something else, and be on your way. And that's also perfectly reasonable. You can do that with the Royale King as well. And of course you could do that with a speedster like Max, who also will be a good way to get around the map, even though she's not going to spawn anything in for you. Now, once it comes to actually fighting in the middle, it's a little bit of a toss-up of who's actually going to win. And that's going to come down to actually playing the sort of engage for fights well, playing the PvE objectives well, having a good spell to engage or escape with, having a bunch of speed boots saved up. all of that will make a big difference in how you do in the middle. And so what I want to do now for the remainder of this video is actually review some footage from 2 games that I did very recently on Doppelganger. One, I get destroyed, and you'll see it's the situation where someone attacks me while I'm doing my economy phase still, and we both get wrecked. And I think neither of us does well. Is what it is, but at least I have a lot of speed boots, and we'll talk about maybe what I could have done better there. And then the other match we'll get a look at. I think I do pretty decently, but I don't know. Let's go watch the footage and find out. All right, let's get a look at this first game. Goblin is an easy choice here. We grab that Goblin, and first thing I'm going to do is grab the chest, go right into another Goblin. Easy choice. Miss a couple coins there, but not that big a deal because I'm going to swing back up that way, get my goblins, then they fuse. Now, somebody's kind of pushing my starting area, which is really dangerous for me and them. We could both lose the match if they do that. I'm going to try to go back down, and they're in my starting area. It's probably a bot. Is what it is. I go for another goblin here, and I do the very risky call of going to an area where I know I go back to get another goblin. I don't have a goblin, but I have a chicken, and that gave me like 8 to 10 speed boots. Huge pickup. I could take another chicken for more speed boots, but I'm going very greedy on gobos here, and I feel pressed into the middle at this point because that guy has invaded my starting area. I could have gotten a chest to try to fight him. In fact, at this point, I take a Shelly to be, I think, a little bit more combat ready. I go after It's a Match a little bit here. Nice. And I'm hunting this kill. Might actually get it. Looks like I get really messed up on that chest. This is something that can happen to you. You're going for a kill, you accidentally step on a chest, and then you don't have the unit you want anymore. There's no way to cancel your chest as far as I know. So very awkward situation. That's like the thing that can wreck you when you're winning in this game mode. Got to be very careful of that. Now watch what happens here. My bears are still on the map after having chose the Nita, and I'm on the Barb plan now. And my economy really ended much sooner than I would have liked here. Perhaps I could have took that Gobbo, and it looks like in this case I would have been safe, but I'm in the middle and I feel very concerned about the safety here. I go for the Gobbo at this point anyways because I see there's another chest very close. Okay, so we get that chest. I am getting really greedy on Gobbos. I do have only 3 speed boots left. I take another Gobbo. Somehow I get offered another chest. You can see here the Royale King gives me recruits to throw. So I'm just going to slam those down. And I'm a little bit worried about the guy on my left. I'm now pursuing this guy, so I take the Hog Rider, going after the Round Earther, get him. I'm chilling, okay, on the Golem. Good. I get offered a Mega again, I pass. This guy rolls up on me with the Dynamites, which is actually kind of scary. He could take out the squad. And then we're out of there with the Speedster, all right? Now I'm stuck with a weird choice Hog Rider again, and I'm getting dangerously low on coins and ability to switch to something else. I'm very afraid of those Dynamites. I respect the AoE damage, and it is actually surprising. Normally, I would feel much better about taking them out if I had barbs, but if you have a mid to low health unit, the Dynamites might just wipe you up. And here, that guy takes my key. Moa actually snags my key. Savage, he switches to a B, which is a disaster. B is one of the worst pickups here. Generally, I dislike B because although her DPS can be insane, the problem with a B is that she's very low hit points, and unless you actually get some Bs, there's no value there. So I think that was just a panic pick by this player. Didn't have much of a better choice. Moa might actually get away. Nope, pop him. GG. I'm only in second. I'm not winning this match, and that's fine. In Doppelgangers, it's so chaotic. It's hard to know what's going to happen. I'm very happy with the second place. Right now, I'm moving in on David, who's one of the top-ranked players on the leaderboard. He's definitely better than I am, and there's no way I can really approach his position with all those skeletons, which, by the way, is a really great draft in this. I didn't mention that, but Witch is great. I would say that the Battle Healer is not. So I take a Witch myself. I'm in the corner. I'm in this match with a lot of people that are top-ranked, and I get second. Decent. I'll take it. It's really hard to say exactly what's going to happen in a Doppelganger match, but this is not a bad outcome. Second place is pretty good. All right, this next Doppelganger match, I'm starting with a Mavis, which is super value. So I get a ton of coins here, looking really good. Pro tip, step on those little mounds to get an extra goodie or to get nuked with a little mine. It all depends on if you get lucky or not. I'm going back and forth here. Hard to say what to switch to. Tank is definitely not the pick though, because I'm really not going middle. I should pick the chicken. I did. Okay, good. That gives me some speed boots, but now I'm in a tough spot. I gotta pick the Mavis here, but I have nothing to pluck. So it puts me in the very dangerous position. I could go for the kill here, but I decide to instead go for economy. A little bit debatable, but Mavis is not what you need to get kills. I pick the chicken, but then realize this guy is so low. Am I gonna go for him? I actually go for this guy, Dex the Mex. I have no good choices here. I fall off that guy and just go back to pluck to win. And in this case, I'm not gonna win, by the way. I should pick chicken. Good. Speed boots, 19 of them now. And I shouldn't even bother with this, but I don't have enough coins to open a chest, so I peck my way to opening a chest here. I should pick Mavis. Yep. And this is a dangerous spot now because my chests are getting a little bit pricey. I can't like pick lots of them. I go Mavis again, very bold. Okay. I'm getting a little bit lucky with my plucking situation. And I think this is where my luck ends here. I think I'm about to get invaded and it's going to go poorly. I, by the way, must not have Goblin as a draft option here, which kind of sucks. I picked the chicken. GG. I have 29 speed boots. I wish I was remembering to use them more. Okay, and chicken again? Kinda shitty. So you can see there the chicken only gave me a small amount of speed boots. I get more speed boots if I switched to something else and then back to the chicken, and this really bites me here. If I had the Mavis, I could have picked up that chest. This is a bad situation because I did not pick up the Mavis, get the coins, and now I have a problem. Now I take Colt, and this tank rolls up on me, and Colt is a disaster in a tank. I mean, tank will just one-shot my Colts, which you can see here. This is a disaster for both him and me. More for me than for him, but given the number of losses he took here, I think he's also screwed. All right, so we'll watch for this and see if he makes his way back onto the top 3 in the rest of the match. I doubt it will happen, okay? So he's chasing me, but remember, chicken for the win. I went and I picked up so many speed boots, like, I still have some supply. You can see he's still coming after me, though, because he weakened himself so much that he can't actually do anything effective anymore, except to chase me, so a loss for him and a loss for me. It just is what it is. I think eventually people will figure out how not to create this situation, but again, this is just my opinion, okay? So I go Barb King here, and I can't really hang in the middle, but I have no better choice, and I'm in 6th. I need a way to get to 5th, and I'm getting chased, which is very scary. I throw that bomb really poorly. That's actually a bit of an L. Given that he had a speedster, I should have thrown it to my left and hoped it landed on him, and I am struggling. It does look like the guy who had pursued me is in a much better position than I am currently. And I'm still in the match, though. I get another Barb King. I'm surprisingly still alive. I'm in 6th. And I basically, at this point, need someone else to get kind of sniped to continue to maintain my top 5 spree. So let's see what happens here. I'm in 5th. Okay. Can I hang? I go for the chest, but I should have just killed the unit. Yeah. Little sloppy, keep the 5th, is what it is. So this match really cleanly illustrates that you can get invaded. And if you get invaded while doing the strat to sort of gain currency, you get wrecked. So at some point, you have to make the call to switch to something combat-oriented and run your way to the middle, okay? And then smash people. And there's a perfect example of a video where I did this, where I had an uninterrupted back and forth getting goblins. I did this on stream. It was insane. I made a highlight reel. Check the card in the end screen in just a second. I think you're really going to like it. And consider subscribing for more crazy Squad Busters videos, tips, and tricks.